Hey Rebecca, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that my work is going to be hosting a barbecue this weekend. You better start getting ready for it now.
Wait, what? There's going to be a big barbecue this weekend?
That's right. It's just a reward for the staff for making half of their sales quota before the quarter is even half over. It's just a way of saying thank you for all the hard work they've done.
Well, yes, that certainly is something that should be celebrated. Those are some big feats. But maybe your staff would be more grateful if they receive a little extra time off work? I mean, to have to come into an office cookout on your weekend when you've already been working so hard. I just think they might appreciate getting to spend some more time at home.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You don't like the barbecue idea? But we collect a little bit from everyone every month so that we can throw these kinds of office parties. I was going to arrange some really nice food and it was going to be a good time.
I'm sure that you were, and I'm sure that all the food would be good. But if they've all been working hard, maybe it's better to give them a chance to rest. I mean, I feel like you've all been working every single weekend already as it is. I just feel like you might have already made them give up enough of their weekends for work. Think of all the plans that have had to be cancelled with family and friends just to put that time back in working.
That's totally normal for our office. I'm sure that nobody minded having to work on the weekend at all. Besides, the barbecue isn't going to be work, it's going to be fun. That's how I'm thanking them.
It might not be work, but it's just going to be the same people from the office all using their weekend to spend time with each other.
Okay, I get it. How about I let the staff bring their family and maybe even a +1 if it's just a friend?
I really don't think that you're seeing the point I'm trying to make. I don't think it matters how nice the barbecue is. I think people just wanted a break in general from the company. If they want to have a barbecue with their friends, just give them some extra time off and that's what they'll do.
You seriously have no idea what you're talking about. I'm the boss, and I want to show that I care for my employees by throwing them a party. What part of that don't you like? I know that they will work hard for me, and as their boss, it's my job to show that I appreciate them.
And I understand those feelings, and think that the sentiment is a really good one. But I'm just saying that people might not appreciate feeling like going to what could be perceived as a mandatory office function on the weekend.
Okay, I've had just about enough out of you. I'm the CEO of this company, and if I say I want a barbecue, then I'm having a barbecue. I didn't come here for your advice about the event. I came here to tell you to go out and buy the things we'll need for it. And don't ever talk to me like this again. It's completely humiliating for someone of my standing to be talked down to like that.
Hey Rebecca, guess what? I think I saw you at the grocery store across the street from Highland High. Were you just in there? I saw that you had a huge cart filled all the way up. I was thinking, what kind of person needs all that stuff? But then I looked up and it was you pushing the cart. Wait a second, is this Kate? Oh my gosh, I don't think we've spoken since high school. How long has it been? And yes, I probably was the lady with the very full cart that you saw earlier. But wow, you really know how to pick me out of a crowd. It took me a second for my brain to click, but I was sure it was you after that. I still can't believe the coincidence though. Who would have thought? Well, I wish that you would have said something or come over to chat for a bit. I would have loved seeing you in person. No, I've been in those shoes before when you're heaping up things in a shopping cart. It's really no way for either person to carry on a conversation. Although, that supermarket is quite fancy, right? And I'm pretty sure I saw your cart full of different meats. Just what are you shopping for, if you don't mind me asking? Are you working? No, I'm not working. I'm just a housewife, really. But I was out shopping for all of that because my husband asked me to get that. Wait a second. Housewife? Husband? So you're married? That's right. I've been married a few years now. But my husband is holding a barbecue for his employees and it was kind of last minute. So he sent me out to do the shopping for it. Hold on a second. You can't be dropping these little hints from me. Your husband is throwing away a party for his employees? Wouldn't that make your husband like a CEO or something? Pretty much. He does own and run his own company. And so even though I don't have a job, I still do a lot to support him from the background. I don't believe it. This is so crazy. I mean, you were always so quiet and plain in high school, and now you're married to a CEO. That must be lavish. It's really not all that it's cracked up to be. I promised. Besides, you shouldn't get the wrong idea. My husband's company isn't even that big. Hey, a CEO is still a CEO. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that makes you the wife of a CEO, which is also nothing to wag a stick at. Not to mention the fact that your husband is all the type of nice, caring boss who would go out and throw a company barbecue on his dime. I bet you must have an amazing life, huh? No, I'm telling you that it really isn't anything like that at all. Oh, come on. There's no need to be humble with these things. I mean, did I or did I not catch you at a fancy supermarket with a cart full of meat? You know, I actually recently broke up with my boyfriend and he kicked me out of our place. I've had to budget really carefully and have been skipping a meal basically every day since then. So I guess it's just kind of incredible to see an old classmate like you living the way you are. Wait a second, you don't have a place to live anymore? Are you serious about that, Kate? It's true, I'm afraid. I was living with my boyfriend for a while and waiting for him to propose to me. I was prepared to quit my job to support his career, just like you're doing for your husband. But then he told me that he didn't want to be married to a housewife. Plus, he told me that he was never going to propose to me, and before I knew it, things were over between us. Oh my gosh, Kate, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's just horrible. I know, but after all that happened, I didn't have anywhere to go, and so I ended up moving into this tiny little apartment. And I hate having to limit what I eat every day. It sucks. I just feel like I was dealt a really lousy hand, and I hope things turn around soon. Oh, Kate. Well, do you have anything going for you now that makes you think things might do that soon? Actually, now that you mention it, I did meet someone new recently. And honestly, given everything that's going on in my life, the timing could not have been better for me. Well, anyways, I feel like I've taken enough of your time complaining about my life, and unfortunately, I have to go and take care of some things right now. But anyways, I hope you're enjoying your life right now, Rebecca. Kate, are you there? Please pick up the phone. I want to know what's going on right now. I'm serious. You open the front door and come out here. You're in my house, you know. Just what are you even doing here anyways? And why did you throw me out of my own home? Oh, Becca, I'm so sorry about this, but I'm afraid that it isn't your house any longer. You see, I've decided that I'm going to take your life and make it mine. Just what is that supposed to mean? It means that I've made Aaron all mine. I'm going to be his new wife, so he doesn't have a need for you anymore. Just get lost already. Excuse me? Are you kidding me right now? What does Aaron have to do with any of this, and what do you mean he's yours now? And why are you treating me as if we're still not husband and wife? You're saying that this is all some kind of plot of yours or something to steal my life? Well, I guess in a nutshell, yeah, that's about right. Let me say it again. I stole your husband, Aaron, from you. He is now all mine, and he's head over heels in love with me. He's already sent out papers to start the divorce process with you. And we've already gone through our civil ceremony to be married. Wait, what? He sent out divorce papers without talking to me about any of this first? He's actually sitting right here next to me and is saying how happy he is that we're married. Oh, wait just a minute. So then, you plan to cheat on my husband? I don't get it. I thought that you and I were old friends, but instead, you made my husband divorce me? I have to say that I really am so thankful that I happened to see you that day in the store. You led me straight to your husband, and after that, it was all too easy. I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, after we talked, I did some digging around and figured out where you were living. After that, I staked out your place and waited until your husband went out to go run some errands. I followed him and then pretending like I was just running into him. But unlike a plain Jane like you, I have the feminine charms that can make any man swoon over me. So you're telling me that you've basically been seeing my husband ever since then? That's right. It's my first time ever being with a married man, but it was actually a lot easier than I expected. But then again, what else would you expect from someone as gorgeous as me? I don't even know what to say to you right now. Anyways, it seems to me like Aaron was just plain bored of having you around. He told me that he's been thinking of divorcing you for some time now. He says that he's sick of you always trying to tell him how to run his business, even though you're just a simple housewife. Honestly, you've made my job of stealing Aaron away that much easier. Is he kidding me with all of that nonsense? All I was doing was giving some input on ways that he could better try and improve company morale. But he always just thought of it as me nagging him? At least you finally understand that for yourself now. The job of a CEO's wife is to stand there and look pretty for the press. You're not there to think. You're there to do whatever your husband needs to succeed in his career. It isn't in our place to be telling him how to run his company. Do you actually really think that way? Of course I do. And look where not thinking that way has landed you, Rebecca. Did you really think that you would hold on to your man for long with an attitude like that? All you ever did was get in his way. That's why you should just leave him. Well, I suppose I really don't have any other choice but to leave him at this point. If he's the type of man to talk about me like that, running around with other women and be an all-around pig, then I don't want him in my life either. Except now you've lost your wealthy husband to me. I'm going to be the one living in the lap of luxury from now on. I'm going to steal your easy life, and there's nothing you can do about it. You mean you think that things are going to continue like that when my husband doesn't even have any employees left? But I suppose I really don't have a say in this matter either way. So fine, I'll leave, and you can have my so-called perfect life. I'll just find a new place to live. Now wait just 1 minute. What was that comment about having no employees? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, he held a barbecue for employees and I saw all the food that you bought. Why would you say something like that? Oh yes, when he had that, there were dozens of workers there. But everyone just couldn't stand working for that man anymore. So they all talked and agreed to quit at once. Wait, what? The whole staff quit at once? Are you kidding me? No. They all wrote their letters of resignation and tendered them at the same time. I was actually worried about how to break the news to Aaron, but when I got home, I caught him having his affair with you. That's when you threw me out of the house, and I decided that I'd rather have him find out on his own time. No, hold on, back up. How could the entire staff quit at once? That doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense as you knew the company as well as I did. You see, the whole company was actually building up resentment towards Aaron for quite some time. I had noticed it while I was helping him to run his business. I tried to warn him that people have their limits, but Aaron thought I was merely nagging him about how to do his job. I still don't get it. What happened? Here's the thing. I think that Aaron does have a sharp sense for how to run a business. After all, he managed to grow his to as large as it was. What he forgot to do, however, is remember that growth comes with a cost, and that you need to remember to care for the people who got your company to where it is. Essentially, he ignored the well-being of his workers and they'd had enough. So his entire staff really hated Aaron that much? Aaron is the type of person to make his work his life and doesn't mind coming home in on the weekends. But it was not the case for his staff who were sick of being called in when they should have been relaxing. And while Aaron managed to squeeze some extra productivity out of them, it was only a matter of time until something had to give. So he made them come into the work on weekends? That's right. In fact, the barbecue was supposed to be a way of thanking for the staff for all their tireless effort. But I suggested that Aaron give them some extra time off instead. He of course ignored that and insisted that the cookout would solve everything. And after he had left and I was cleaning up, the staff came to me with a box of envelopes bearing their resignation letters. But If the staff of a whole company quits at once, then how is the business supposed to stay open? Yeah, that is not how you want to be running a company. Staffs don't always need a CEO to run a business, but I've yet to see a CEO who can run a business without a staff. And unless he's prepared to take on every single duty that needs doing to stay operational, there is going to have to be some serious downsizing. Downsizing? But wait, what about me? What about my luxurious new life? I was supposed to have it easy for the rest of my days. I guess you better go out and find some new people to work for Aaron then, huh? I sure hope you can find someone after all the negative reviews the employees left after they quit. This can't be happening. I don't believe it. But I really am sorry. I realize I'm overstepping, talking about all this business stuff as if I know what I'm talking about. Besides, I know that you love Aaron for Aaron, and you'll be able to work something out.
Hey, Rebecca. I heard all about what you said to Kate. Is it really true? Did all my staff really walk out on me?
I've already stopped by the house to put all their resignation letters in the mailbox. You can go and check yourself if you want.
Quit messing around. This is my life we're talking about here. How could they all do that to me after all I've given them? And for them to do it all behind my back, those little cowards, those ingrates, they all deserve to be taught a lesson. I've never felt so betrayed in my life.
And just what do those employees even have to be grateful for when it comes to you, huh? You think that you can just buy their souls with money? Keep them working for the rest of their lives? You should be the one thanking them for all they do for you. They have been working themselves to the bone to make your company just slightly more profit than they would on an average year. You were the one that drove them all to this, Aaron.
But they all voluntarily signed up for this job. They knew there would be overtime here.
If you really think that's an excuse for how you treated them, then just look at where that's landed you. But don't worry, you can always start over again with Kate by your side.
Oh, don't you worry about us. We're going to make it out of this just fine. I'm still a great businessman, and I can get myself out of any pinch. I'm a genius. You have to be to get where I am. I'm better than those wage slaves, and that's why I'm the boss. Don't they realize the risk I took investing in my company? That gives me the right to run it however I want with no complaints. I gave them a contract, and those ingrates are acting like they didn't know what they were getting themselves into. Well, I'm going to make sure that they never find work in this town again.
What do you mean by that, Aaron?
I mean, if those little animals want to try and take me down, I'll make sure I take them all down with me. I can ruin all of their careers with just a couple of phone calls. It would take nothing for me to do so.
You really are a terrible boss. Do you realize that, Aaron? But if you're really going to take things that far, then I'll hire them all myself. I know just how excellent they are as workers, and I'll treat them much better than you did.
And just what do you mean you're going to hire them?
Well, actually, when they all came to me telling me they were quitting, they told me that they wanted to start a worker-owned business together. But they asked if I would take the role as head of the company. They said that if I led them, they would all work for me.
Hold on a second. Are you serious? You mean they really asked for you to lead them in running a business? But you're just a housewife. You don't know the first thing about running a business. You're really going to lead all those people in some hippie pipe dream of a business.
Call it what you want, but it is happening. We've already convinced some of your largest clients to invest in our future as well.
You're really trying to poach my clients.
Your poor management didn't just affect the workers under you. It also made a trouble for the contractors who were constantly having to put special orders, which was harming the relationship between the workers and the bosses there as well. Your clients know that they can expect steady growth from us and don't feel the need to squeeze every last drop of profit of a fiscal year.
Well, that makes them morons.
And yet, you're the one without any clients, Aaron. I know that it's going to take time getting the new business back on track, but I have people counting on me, and I won't let them down. I will make this company thrive.
But I'm telling you that you can't. You don't know how. You don't have the temperament to be a leader. You're just a housewife. You have no idea how hard it is to manage everything and make it work. I'm the one with the good business sense. I'm the one who got everyone this far.
And you got everyone so far that they all decided they had enough of you. I'm not denying that you don't have know-how, but you need to understand that people have their limits. As a leader, you are more interested in the power than in responsibility. I'm not leading this company for glory or fame. I'm leading it because I've watched you manage, and I learned from your mistakes, and because I've realized that being part of the leader means being part of the team, not outside of the team.
You'll never make it work. I don't care if you've stolen all my employees and my contracts. You just don't have what it takes.
That's fine, because it's not just me. We're combining our expertise and we'll get through this together. So, may the best company win. Things weren't supposed to go this way. It was supposed to get easier after I married Aaron, not harder. How did my life come to this? What's the matter, Kate? I thought being married to a CEO was supposed to solve all of your problems. It was supposed to solve all of my problems. But it doesn't work when your CEO husband doesn't have any employees. I thought I would be just happy, but now I just want to leave Aaron. You mean that you two are going to get a divorce? But you just got married, didn't you? We did, and I thought I would be living a very different life than I am now. I stole your husband from you, and that was supposed to be the best thing that ever happened to me. But instead, I'm back to where I started, having to budget like there's no tomorrow. This whole plot was a complete failure. Wow, are things really that bad for you two? Are you really that surprised? Aaron has nothing left. His company is just an empty building, and he doesn't have any clients because you stole them all. This is all your fault. Are you kidding me? You were the one who stole Aaron away from me, right? And it was the staff that came to me and asked me to lead them. You're just mad because the staff made their opinions clear and left Aaron behind. But I hate living like this. Plus, Aaron has been so mean to me lately. He even said that he would put me to work since he wouldn't have to pay his wife as an employee. Can you believe that? He's got me working around the clock for him on all kinds of different things. Wow. Is he really making you work for him for free? He is. And on top of that, he still expects me to clean the house and cook all of his meals for him. I knew he's out there trying to find new clients and investors. But he doesn't realize that taking care of the house is a lot of work too. I hate my life. It was better before. At least then, I used to be poor and free. Now I'm poor and practically enslaved by this man. That really is a lot to be dealing with, Kate. I really just want things to end with him. Please, Becca. Can you help me? I need you to get me out of here. You want my help to fix your life? Well, I know that even if I divorce Aaron, I still won't get that much money out of him. This is why I stole him from you. But you have money, right? So you can help me out here. You're the only person I can turn to. Kate, I'm sorry that you're going through all of this, and I really sympathize with you. But this is your divorce, and you can handle it yourself. But I thought we were old friends. Is this really how you're going to treat me after all we've been through together? I'm sorry, but you were the one who came to me bragging about how you stole my husband from me. I really don't feel like I owe you anything. But you can't be serious, right? Look, I'm busy and am about to start a meeting. I don't have time for this. Hold on just 1 second. You can't leave me like this. What's the matter with you? I'm sorry, but I've got to go. Good luck fixing your life. After that, Aaron declared for bankruptcy for both his business and himself. He may have certain skills necessary for running a company, but he forgets too often about the human element. Not long after that, I heard that him and Kate got divorced. Now, buried in debt, I'm sure Aaron is scheming a way back to take his old life. As for me and the new company I'm managing, we've received support from all over, and operations have been running smoothly. I ensure that all my employees are paid a fair wage, and instead of taking every money from them every month of office parties, I instead invest that money back into the employees through pay raises and days off. All the employees are more than welcome to socialize with each other on their own time, but we agreed when we started this thing that mandatory office fun was to be a thing of the past.
Hi, Donna. I'd like it if our wedding can be as extravagant as possible, okay? After all, this is going to be the wedding for your family's oldest son. So instead of giving us some boring little wedding, you should be aiming for something that'll wow everyone. I'm glad to see that you're trying to support the preparation for this wedding, but my family doesn't really care about it being that big or not, so I don't think we have to work too hard to make it have so much wow factor. I just want this wedding to be something that'll make you and Nick happy, okay? Well, I want to have a wedding that doesn't embarrass Nick or I. Oh, is that so? But in our case, we don't have that much saved up for this. We'd only have enough to throw a $30,000 wedding, or so, and that's not that great. You understand what I mean, don't you? He's your oldest son, so he should have a much nicer wedding than whatever $3,000 can afford. I don't really think you two need to go all out on this wedding, and in our family, we really don't think he needs to impress anyone with a nice wedding just because he's the oldest. So please, don't worry about what others think, and just have a wedding that'll make the two of you great memories. Huh? I'm telling you that I want to have a wedding that'll show off the family that you have. I've already made my decision to marry your oldest son, and so I'd like to have a wedding where he doesn't have to feel embarrassed for himself or for you guys. Yet you keep acting like you don't want any of what I'm asking for? Huh? Huh? Does this mean you're going to start picking on his new wife? Because you don't care for me at all, you think it's alright for me to have a lame wedding, don't you? Doesn't that mean you're going to be ruining your son's wedding as well? I never had any intention of that. I'm just saying that you shouldn't be so worked up over a wedding when it's supposed to be about the two of you. And honestly, my family is all from the countryside, Em. I know that way back in the day, families would want to make sure that their first son's wedding was the most amazing. But in this day and age, that way of thinking is way outdated. Well, I don't think so. I think it would be nice to have a flashy wedding that lets everyone know that your son is getting married to me. Really? And that's why I'm trying to get you to agree with me to have the most spectacular wedding for the two of us. Yet you keep saying you're fine with us having a small wedding. In other words, you don't really care if we're happy with our wedding or not. I can see you're already starting to enjoy picking on me. I told you, I have no intention of that. And the fact that you both are getting married makes me and my husband very happy. Then you'd be alright if this wedding is big and fabulous, right? I guess so. I guess you could see it that way then. Then we'll do what makes the both of you happy and have a great huge wedding so that we can get married. But because it'll be making you guys happy to see us getting married, I'd like you to be responsible for the wedding. And I'd also like you to pay for it. Huh? You want me paying for it? You're asking that we also help pay for your wedding then? Of course I am. I'm already putting in a lot of effort as it's to marry your son so that you all can be so happy. So if you want to respect my effort, I'd like for you guys to get some money ready to pay for this amazing wedding. Well, alright then, I'll let you handle the costs of whatever much this whole wedding comes out to, okay? After all, this is the wedding for your first son, so it has to be very important. And since I'll become his new wife, I'll make sure to put all my effort into making this wedding as beautiful and dazzling as possible. Nick, have you guys already moved in with each other? Everything that I sent over to you had been sent back to me.
Yeah, actually, we did move in together. And what kind of things were you sending to me?
Presents from all our family. The wedding the two of you had a little while back was very gorgeous, right? Everyone in the family felt like they should have given you guys more back then. So these are extra presents to make up for how spectacular the wedding was for them.
Well, then I suppose I will take all of those. Can you send them all to my office or something?
But there's quite a bit here, and taking it all home from your office would be a pain, right? Would you like me to just put them in my car and bring them to your new house? That's the best, I think. So can you tell me the address of your new house?
You don't have to do that. I don't want any of you guys knowing where I'm living now.
Huh?
Just have it all sent to my office, please. That'll be the most convenient for me.
Wait a minute, Nick. Why don't you want to tell me where you're living now? I'm your mom after all, so you shouldn't be worked up about telling me where you're living currently.
Huh? Why would I tell my mom where I live after she never seemed to care about her oldest son's wedding?
Huh? When did I ever say I never cared about your wedding? Your dad and I have been caring about you forever, and we take anything that happens to or with you as important.
Well, if you really cared about me, you would have given me more than just $10,000 for my wedding. So don't tell me you care for me and want to make me important when your actions have already spoken for you.
Huh?
I'm aware that our house is all old and in the countryside, but you guys have held on to that house for the longest time. So you and Dad should have had more than $10,000 to hand to Em and I for the wedding, right? Yet all we got was a small check for $10,000. This was your first son's wedding, and you should have given me at least 10 times that amount to show how much you care about me.
10 times as much? Did you know that we originally didn't plan on giving you guys any money for your wedding? But Em kept saying that I was picking on her for some reason, and so that $10,000 was given to you both so that she'd stop saying things like that.
Huh? So you gave us the money only to shut her up? Do you not realize that I'm your oldest son? Not only am I supposed to get the house after you die, but you should be treating me with the respect I deserve.
What?
Our family has always thought the oldest son is the most important, right? But you guys tried to make us all forget that, until one day, Em started teaching me everything that this world used to think. So thanks to her, my eyes have once again been opened. I mean, she had to take on the pressure of becoming my wife, and that took a lot of courage. Yet after all the work she put in to be with me, and me being the oldest son, you and Dad act like you're not thankful. It's because of both of your disgusting attitudes towards us that I'm not telling you where I live.
What?
If you guys want to keep acting selfish over there, then so will we. Now, go and have all those presents sent to my office so that I can get them later.
Hey Em, do you think that the way you thought I was treating you before was not caring about you and Nick? Even though I gave you $10,000 to put towards that wedding you both had like you asked, are you saying you're unhappy with the amount I gave you guys and you wanted more from us? Yeah, I'm nothing but unhappy with that amount. I'm disappointed in learning that you really don't care about what happens to us. Huh? I'm sure the only reason you're texting me now is because you learned from Nick that him and I moved. We tried our best to move without any of you noticing, but I guess we didn't try hard enough to hide ourselves. Why are you guys not going to tell the rest of the family where you live now? I understand that you're not that happy with the amount of money I gave you, but just because that you're going to treat us like that, we aren't even related to you guys? That's not very nice. We're not just treating you that way. We know that you guys aren't our family anymore, and we have no need telling some strangers about where we live. Of course, you'd never tell a stranger your address either, right? And so, that's really all this. Us two just trying to stay safe and all. What? You see us as strangers now? Yep. If all of you plan to do was giving us $10,000, that makes you strangers to us, so we have zero reason to be telling you anything about where we are. Wait, what is going on here, Em? Don't you feel that the two of you are getting a little out of hand here? What? You know very well that I originally had no plans on giving you guys any money for your wedding, but you came to me saying that I'd be picking on you if I didn't give something to help pay. And so I had no other choice but to help you out, so that you wouldn't get carried away. Yet, I even gave you $10,000, Em. But for some reason you think that isn't good enough amount? Do you not at least feel a little thankful for what I gave you? Oh, come on. $10,000 is just pocket change. I've heard about all the money you and your family has come from Nick. Huh? The money we have? He said you guys never had to worry about buying a house or land because it's been passed down you. So without having to spend anything on that place, you've been able to just save everything you've earned. Yet, with all of that money in your guys' pockets, all you could spare Nick and I was $10,000. So what's wrong with us calling such couple people strangers after they did that? If you had that kind of money all along, you should have been fine with paying for every bit of my wedding with him. What? You really thought that you'd have my family pay for all your wedding expenses because you think we had the money? Of course I wanted you to. After all, we're the first married couple to come from your family with your first son. Yet you didn't bother to help us without me having to waste my time trying to ask you. And so, Nick have thought a lot about what's happened, and we're starting to wonder if you and your husband have already burned through all the money you had. therefore making it hard for you guys to give us anything more than a measly $10,000. What? Well, if that's the case, then I suppose I can understand you guys only having enough money to give us $10,000. Although, you should know that your job as the parents is to save up as much money as you can to give to your kids. But now, we're just finished with you guys because you probably went and spent all of that money on yourselves, and that's why we came to this decision. We have no reason to be related to any of you anymore now that you have nothing. That's why we've moved into a new house and don't plan on telling you where it is. I won't even let you see the baby that I give birth to when the time comes. What? Wait a second, Em. Are you saying that you're already pregnant now? Yes, I actually am. And we found out that it's going to be a cute little girl. You're saying that you've had the baby long enough now to where you even know its gender? I never knew about that. Well, why would you have needed to know? Especially now, I'm no longer going to let her meet you, so don't get any hopes up. I don't want my baby knowing about how you only forked over $10,000 to your oldest son and his wife for their amazing wedding, when you should have at least handed us $70,000. I'm not letting any strangers near my daughter. You're going to regret this, you know. Say whatever you'd like about me. You don't even have the money to back up your words anymore. I won't have any regrets because now I don't have to worry about taking care of you when you get old and senile. Then I guess we'll have to give a lot of our money to our next oldest son. We have his wedding to look forward to as well. I think he'll be nice enough to make it whatever kind of wedding he wants. Huh? I can see that you don't seem to care anymore about me and my family, and you're not even thankful for what we've already done. And since you're now telling me that you want to pretty much cut ties with me, I have no other choice but to support him. So I'll make sure that the money that was meant to go to the both of you goes to him instead. You both have a lovely life together. You'll have a baby to look forward to, and your new life living with Nick. Good luck trying to make things work with just the two of you. What? Wait a minute, please. What exactly are you talking about? You just said that you'd give most of your money to your second oldest son instead? I thought that you guys had already used up all your money that was supposed to go to Nick and I, right? And that's what you both chose to believe instead of letting us tell you. The money that my husband and I have had for the longest time was always meant to go to all of our kids as we got older, so we didn't need you asking all the time for money, because in time, it would be coming. Just like Nick told you, our family does have a ton of money, loads of it. What? So you're saying you guys haven't spent it all yet? Then why the hell did you guys not help us pay for our wedding or whatsoever? That was the wedding of your oldest son, and he was marrying someone as kind and beautiful as me. That's because we didn't feel the same about as you did about him being our first son. In our minds, because he was the oldest son, he should be able to work harder for what he wants. But to you and everyone else, that lived centuries ago. You think that he was supposed to be babied by my husband and I all his life? So that's why when you guys had decided to get married, we felt that he wouldn't need our help and could get all this done on his own? Huh? My husband and I are both aware of the pressure that he had on him as he grew up, having to take care of his younger brothers at times, and having this idea of him being the next man of the house always pushed him onto him. Well, we didn't want him to have the feel of the pressure, and that's another reason we were just going to let him do as he pleased without saying that he'd get our house one day. That's the whole reason we never planned to give him a penny for that wedding. Is that what you guys were thinking? Yet you came at me saying that because he's the oldest son, he needs to be treated with the most respect and have everything given to him on a silver platter. I understand that you wanted to share the same views that our ancestors have regarding the firstborn son, and that's fine. But that does not mean you get to use that as an excuse to get your hands on my family's money and this house. That's never what I meant. I just thought that him being your first son meant that you'd all care about him a lot. Well, then you can use that as an excuse to start treating him like the king he is within your own household, okay? And you said that your first child's going to be a girl, right? Well, that must mean you won't be able to give your house to her, so you'll have to keep having babies until you can give birth to a boy. You think I should have another? I only ever wanted to give birth to one child. 2 is way too much. What are you talking about? You want to make sure that you have a son, right? So then work your hardest to make sure you have someone to save up all your money for. I'm going to be sad to lose my son and his wife, but you both have a great time. you both can have a great family together and continue to carry on the traditional thinking of our ancestors.
Wait, Mom! You only ended up giving us $10,000 for a wedding, yet you plan on giving Kevin a whole ton more when his wedding comes around? That's screwed up! I had assumed that you and Dad had spent all your money, and that's why you only gave us so little. Yet you're now saying that you'll be paying for all of Kevin's wedding? What is wrong with you? That's not fair at all. You should at least only give him $10,000 as well. No, wait, you should only be giving him $1,000.
You have no right to tell me what to do as a stranger. Your dad and I really want to pay for all of Kevin's wedding, so that's exactly what we're going to do.
What?
Unlike the man you've turned into these past few years, Kevin has remained the same kind and ambitious little man we've always loved. He even remembers to celebrate us on Mother's and Father's Day, and he makes sure that we have presents on our birthdays. It's only right that we want to treat him for being so kind to us.
Wait. There's something wrong here. I know that I wasn't always there to celebrate everything with you guys. But saying that, just by doing that, you're going to treat him better than me. It's just crazy.
Oh, what's wrong with us wanting to treat our only son with such importance?
Huh?
We once had an older son, but he liked to think that because he was the first, he could get away with telling his parents off. So compared to him, Kevin is like a little saint that we have to praise. We even gave it some thought after everything you and Em said, and I think we will be treating our oldest son with far more respect now. We actually had always wanted to treat our oldest with huge respect, and that's why we originally were planning on letting you handle yourself, so you weren't pressured like so many others. But now that you've cut ties with us, you're no longer the oldest, and so Kevin gets to take the seat. Really, we only have one son now anyway, and so there really is no problem with us doing whatever we can to take care for only our son.
What? Can you hold on, Mom? Mom, Dad, are you saying that Kevin is a way better son than me?
Yeah, he's the best son we could have ever wished for.
What?
And that son of ours saying that he's going to be getting married really soon here. And he's told us he wants to use the wedding as a way of giving thanks to his parents. He even told us not to give him any gifts at the wedding and to let himself pay for everything. And since he said something so sincere to us, I had no choice but to tell him that we'd be paying for everything.
Stop screwing around. Why are you giving him all the attention? You never did any of that for me and Em.
That's because neither of you seem to respect us, and instead just sat there complaining the whole time. And unlike Kevin's fiancée, yours chose to start saying rude things to me and act as though I was being mean to her. I'm sorry, but there's no way I can respect a couple like you guys after all of that.
What?
So to make sure that I at least respect both of you wanting to cut ties with this family, I don't want either of you ever coming back here again. We have only one son that we need to start caring more now for. Donna, can we at least just act though us talking about all that cutting ties stuff never happened? I've realized that cutting ties to all of you would be really sad, so how about we just start working towards building a strong family again? Huh? I don't want to do that. I think all of us like it much better now that you both aren't in our lives anymore. What? You think that it's better now that we're gone? You really don't want to become good family now? Yeah, I don't even want to see your faces. I went through all the trouble to help you both out a little, yet I never heard a bit of thanks from either of you two, so I have no need to come close to you guys. But that was all just because we misunderstood some things. We just thought you guys didn't have any more money, that's all. And I just assumed that you were trying to hurt me by saying you didn't want to help me with your oldest son's wedding. But now Nick and I have seen what we misunderstood and want to make things right again. I don't think how many times I'll have to say this, but no is no. We're not going to change the way we feel about you guys now, so just stop trying with us, okay? What do you mean? I just wanted you to give us an amazing wedding. Why do you have to continue bullying me for that? If you think you can just keep doing that to me, I'll have no choice but to continue crying over it. Huh? I'm right in front of your house right now. I thought you'd want to make things right with us, so I came here hoping to see you today. But now that you've told me you don't want me to become family again, and don't even want to see my face anymore, I'm done. I'm going to stand out here and start yelling at the top of my lungs that you're hurting me and trying to make me suffer. Then everyone in this neighborhood will know that you like to hurt your son's wife, and they'll start to get upset with you. Does this mean you're threatening me now? I just want our families to get back together. Do you think I can come in for some coffee and we can talk this all over right now? Because if you say no, I'm going to have to start yelling and crying that you're bullying me. I wonder why you keep thinking that I hate you. Well, if you feel that way, then go right ahead. Right now, my family and I are on vacation with our son and his fiancée, so we're not even home. Huh? You went with them on vacation? Those two really kept telling us that they didn't want anything from any of us for their wedding, but I just couldn't help myself to not give them something to celebrate them getting married, so I gave them this trip. And when I did that, his fiancée asked for us to come with them as well, so that we could all share all the fun. So the 4 of us are gone, right now enjoying a relaxing vacation in Bali. What? What the hell? You're a jerk! You guys never even bothered to invite Nick or I. Why would we ever invite 2 complete strangers on a trip with us? What? And I've already talked with all of our neighbors about how you guys chose to cut ties with us over not having any money for the 2 of you to take. So you can go right ahead and scream and shout about me because nobody's gonna care. Actually, I even asked them to record anything you guys do if they see you around my house. Wait, what? So go on now, start screaming and crying until you've gotten it all out of you. Now, I need to get back to my family before we head to the beach again. And just after talking with Em, I started receiving videos from all my neighbors of Em standing in front of the house crying in her hands, and then I took those videos and began sending them all to Em, only for her to leave them on read and never respond to me again. I also got a message from Nick asking to let us be a family again, and that when they have their first baby, they might need help taking care of it. But of course, that's none of my business, so I just ignored him instead. I'd like them for both to become decent adults together, so I think they need to respect what they say and follow through with it like the rest of us have.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.